Hey everybody, it's me, Marquita. I am making this video. I was going to say short video, but I don't know how short it's going to be. I'm making this video because I was wanting to update everybody with what's on my brain. So, a couple of good things, or maybe not to everybody good things, but to me it's a good thing. Okay, so I got back in with my endocrinologist for, technically it's for my thyroid and Paget's, but I think he might have took it back over, because my primary doctor was giving me my thyroid medicine, and I thought that that's all that I was going to him was for the thyroid medicine, because he didn't prescribe anything else to me. But I knew every time we went, we were trying to find a calcium supplement that my body would absorb, and a form of vitamin D that my body would absorb. So when I went back to him, and they were like, "No, have you been getting shots for Paget's?" And I was like, "I don't know anything about shots for Paget's." And then that's when they were like, "Oh, yeah, your iron and your vitamin D has to be at a certain level before you can get the shots." And I was like, I guess that's why I wasn't getting the shots, because we haven't found a different form of calcium, because I can't take the pills, and the chews in the liquid has too much sugar in it, and it makes me have dumping syndrome, and I can't take the pills because they just sit on my stomach and my body never absorbs them. And then the vitamin D, I don't remember why I stopped taking it. I think it might have been because like my body really doesn't absorb it, but maybe that's why my primary doctor, the one before this one, maybe that's why she stopped writing it for me. I don't remember why. I know that my body don't absorb medicine very well, so it could be like the levels was never changing even with me taking it. I don't really remember, because like the last time I seen this doctor was like 5 years ago, so that's 5 years of memory, and like I'm struggling with remembering what happened yesterday. But yeah, so we went there, he took my blood, and he's like, "Oh, well, your calcium is up, and it looks great, and we're just gonna raise the dose on your thyroid medicine." And I was like, "Okay." And then he called me back, "Oh, well, we looked at, like, this one thing came back, and, like, your calcium something, and that means that you are an active Paget's." And I was like, "Yeah," because when I went there, I told you that my spine was hurting, and I thought it was potassium, because that's how I know my potassium is low, as if my spine hurts, and if it feels like I got freaking fur on my face. I can't explain it, but that's how I feel. But I didn't have the furry face feel, and so I'm like, okay, I don't know if it's potassium, but just in case, I started getting the sports drinks, the off-brand Gatorades, and I was like, okay, if it's potassium, I could just drink these and it would, give me electrolytes, and I don't know if it ever helped with potassium, but in my head it did. Like I said, I wasn't having a furry face pill, so that's why I was like, I don't think it's my potassium. But yeah, he was like, oh no, everything's fine. Then he called me back, oh yeah. So the good news is, it's good news for me, but like overall, it might not seem like it's good news, but it is good news because it validates what I was saying. So he was like, oh yeah, something about the calcium, something. And so I was like, okay. So he was like, well, we're going to do another bone scan. The problem is, I have had a bone scan once before. And that was in 2019. And that was to see the bone density. And then that's when they diagnosed me with Paget's, was in 2019. So, and what that bone density body scan is they do a whole body x-ray. And then, so I go in there and they take just like a bone density, just like, all my whole body, head to toe. And then they give me a shot of radiation. And I have to wait 2 hours, and then they go, and it's basically, if you ever had an MRI of your brain, like a in-depth MRI of your brain. And I only remember, I can only take it back to that because that's what it made me think of, when you're laying there and they're taking literally slides of your brain. So it's like the full brain anatomy or the full brain MRI when I got diagnosed with the Paget's. That's when I had it, and that was 2009, February 2009. And so that one, it didn't take radiation. I was just laying there, but it took 30 minutes. It's because they did just a regular one, and then what took the longest is they're literally taking slides of your brain, so it starts at the top, and it's almost think of it like the 3D printing, only they're not making a 3D image of my brain, but they're taking slices of my brain to see if, okay, at each slice, this is what this looks like. Okay, so the full body scan is sort of like that. What it is you, as they do a whole body scan, and it's not like the in-depth one. It's just to see top, from head to toe, and that's the scan. And then the in-depth one is with the radiation. And so I have to wait 2 hours, and after 2 hours, I go back and I lay down. And then they start from head all the way down to my toes. And they're taking slices of the, what?
How are we going to work with it?
I don't know.
It's Friday.
I might have to ask Felicia if the girls can come over there. I really don't
want
know.
Go with Joe's.
Gary.
I know.
Anyways. I'll think of something before Friday. I know that's 2 days. I'll figure something out. If I have to, I won't get it done. Okay, so the reason why Gary said that is because when I had it in 2019, is they were like, you're not allowed to be around, the girls. And at that time, they were they were at school, so it was like, so when I went to get it, they were at school, so they wasn't around me. And then I had to stay away from them for 24 hours. So that's what that was. So I wasn't allowed to be around them for 24 hours because of the radiation. And I did ask this time, and then they're like, we never heard of that and all that. And I'm just like, okay, this is what they said in 2019. So if I have to, I'll just see if my sister can watch the girls, or even Joe or something, just long enough for Gary to bring me back home, and then I'll just have to stay either downstairs or upstairs. Cause like if I stay upstairs, that they're not going to be allowed to be upstairs. And then if I stay downstairs, they're not going to be allowed to come downstairs. And the kitchen's downstairs. So I don't know how we're going to do it in order for Gary.
That's all
I don't know. I'll figure it out. So that's that one thing. So that's how they do. They take a slide from head to toe of your body, looking at the bone density, how thick it is, how thin it is, and all that. The other good news is, and like I said, it might not be good news for everybody else, but it's good news for me. I did get approved for the port. Cause, okay, if y'all remember, I had double brain surgery in 2015, July the 1st, 2015 is when I had my double brain surgery. And ever since that day, ever since July the 1st, 2015, ever since that day, my left arm hasn't worked. Well, okay. So, like, I can use my left arm, but when I say it don't work, it won't, like, you can try to get blood out that arm, and you can't get blood out that arm. You can try to put an IV in that arm, and it doesn't respond. Like, it's like there's no blood on that side of my arm. Like, it's weird. But it's been like that since my double brain surgery. So, I don't remember if y'all remember last year, for people that listen to it. Last year, it was end of May till June, I had my iron infusions. And that was the Venofer. And that one, oh my gosh, it's horrible. My doctor tried to get the Injectafer approved, but if he doesn't, I would do the Venofer again. I know the Venofer is the cheapest of the three that my insurance will pay for. And the one that my body likes, which is the most expensive one, because y'all know how Roxanne is bougie. Anyway, so Injectafer is the one that my body reacts best to. But the last time I had Injectafer was literally, it was 2 days before. No, yeah, because the girl's birthday was that Saturday, and I had the surgery on that Monday. So it was that Friday. So it was 3 days before my brain surgery. So it was June the 27th, 2015. Was like the last time, like that was the last dose, because it was a 2-dose thing. So I went 1 week and then went the next week, and they wanted my iron levels to be, high, because I was about to have brain surgery. And so that one, my body reacted to it good. And then I think I had it another time after that, like after that 1 dose, and then that's when insurance was like, no, that one is expensive. You're gonna have to try these other 3
first.
Yeah, you're gonna have to try the other 3 first before we will pay for that one. So about time it was for me to have another round of iron infusions. At that time, it was no longer 3 different ones that they would pay for. It was 2. So my doctor's like, okay, well, we got this one, and it started with a C, and I do not remember what it's called, but it started with a C, and that one was a 1 dose. That was like 1 big old dose, and no more. And that one, I was in bed for 3 days, because it was, I think, and this is just my opinion, I think it was too much, like too high of an iron dose, and my body couldn't regulate it. So, because my body couldn't regulate it, like, properly, because it was just, like, a big dose going from, like, because, like, when I got the Injectafer, like, my iron was, like, at 10, and, like, it got up, it got up to, like, walkable levels. And then when I went to get this other one, I think it was, like, I think the Injectafer might have been at 8. But I remember when I went and my doctor asked me, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they, and they were like, "How are you walking around?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, how am I walking around? On my legs?" And then that's when they were like, people with iron levels lower than this is in the hospital. And I'm like, well, this is just my normal. So my doctor thinks that my normal is 13. Most people is in the hospital or like can't walk around at 13. My normal is 13. But like my low is like 8. But like so that's why they gave me that 1 big dose. And that was like, I'm thinking it was too much all at once, because like I said, it was a 1 dose. And my body didn't react to that one. And then cut to last year. Bisk, you wasn't here you was here last year, but you wasn't here. Yeah, you came and you seen me a little bit, buddy. So then, so when I got the Injectafer last year, oh my gosh, that medicine made me feel like I had COVID. Knock on wood, I never had COVID, but I'm assuming that's what the symptoms are, because it's like if you have COVID-like symptoms, and most people that I heard that has had COVID said that it's like extreme flu, and that's how I felt like I had. I felt like I had extreme flu, like my voice was gone, I had body aches, my nose was running, then also my mouth was dry, but like my nose was dry, but it was also running. It was like weird. Like I literally had no voice. I wasn't coughing up phlegm balls, but I felt like my chest was like full. But like I never coughed up anything. It was just like I had horses, and it just felt like that my chest was just full of something. Like I said, never had COVID. And but they said if you have them type of symptoms, then like to let your doctor know. And I told them, and I even had to skip a week because I went 1 week. Well, I went like week 1, week 2, and then I had to skip week 3 because I literally was at that point couldn't even hardly talk. And so we skipped 1 whole week, and I started getting better. And then I went back. So it would have been in the time frame, it would have been week 4, but it was my week 3. And then, so week 5, that was supposed to be my last dose in weeks, but that was my week 4. And because they already scheduled for week 5 for me to get blood work. So I had on my week 4, but in scheduling time, it would have been my 5th dose, but it was my 4th dose. So when I did go to get, to give blood and to get an infusion, I only have one arm that works. And since I only have one arm that works, I had to get blood on that arm, that same vein, that I had to get an IV iron infusion. Like, I literally gave blood, left there, went in to the cancer side, because like they don't do the blood draw in the same side that they do the cancer side. No, I don't have cancer. But that's where I go. I do go to a cancer center, and I always feel bad because I'm just there for iron infusions, and like most like a lot of people are there for chemo, cancer treatments, and so I always feel bad when I go because I'm like, mine is my stupid body just being the way that it is. It like I'm here for iron infusions, and other people are there for cancer. But yeah, so when I went that day, which was my week 4, my vein blew. I didn't even know it blew, and like the nurse came, because like the thing beeped, and I was like, I got my arm straight. Of course, I was looking at my tablet, and I'm like, my arm is straight. And she was like, how long has this been like that? And I looked down, and it was like bubbled up, and she was just like, yeah, we need to take that out. And so she took it out. It didn't even bruise or nothing. I don't even know what happened, but it was like one woman, and I always laugh because like now, like every time I see her, like her head is like freaking, she can float because she got like a little tiny vein, and she's like, I don't even know if it's gonna hold up. And she got it to work, and it was like, and I thought she got my left arm working back, but literally we tried. Even after that, it wouldn't work again. But I don't know. Maybe it was meant for it to work. But like I was like, oh my gosh, you are the only one in like 8 years that got my arm to work. And I told him, like, I had double brain surgery, and ever since then, this arm didn't work. And she would literally, she's the only one. Now it's going on 10 years. But I was like, you are the only one that has ever gotten this arm to work since my double brain surgery. Like, the hands didn't work, the arm didn't work, like, nothing, like, my left arm, like, still to, like, right now. And, what is this, May of 2015, 2025, sorry. May of 2025. My arm has not worked. It literally, and I guess God was like, okay, I'll give you a little bit of vein. A little vein. Anyway, so I did get my iron infusion that day. Then the next week I got the 5th dose, which was week 6. But now, I was supposed to get another round, because my iron, when I got it last year, I was at a 9, and then it raised it up to a, I think it was 13. It raised it up to a 13, which my doctor is like, okay, your normal is a 13. That's what he said. So it raised it up to a 13. And then in November it was at, it raised it up to 14. And then, so that was June, it raised it up to 14. And then from 9 to 14. And then November of 24, it was down to 13. And then I went, I guess 2 weeks ago, to the hematologist, and it was down to 12. And he's like, okay. He's like, I'm going to give it 6 weeks, and which would have been June the 9th is when I was supposed to got my iron infusions. Which, Gary, we needed to call to see if they approved it for the 12th.
Oh, your surgery?
Yeah, no, not the surgery. The iron infusion.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta make sure that they moved it to. Okay, sorry. So when I went back, he was like, "Well, we're gonna wait, for 6 weeks, and you will come, and since we tried the other 2, the insurance will pay for, we will go back to Injectifer." And that's what we were supposed to do. When they called, it was like, we called to see if we got approved for the port, so that, because he knows that I only have one vein, and I get blood out of that arm, and I have to get an IV in that arm, and he knew that last year that this arm, the vein blew, and it was because I had blood and iron infusion on the same day. And when I go back on the 9th, if they don't move it, it would have been the same thing. I would have got blood drawn, and then immediately went across the hall, which is, it's not even really across the hall. It's just out of one door into another door. And I would have had to literally get my blood drawn and then go, not even sit down and wait. Get my blood drawn and then go and sit and sign in and wait for me to go back and to get the infusion, the iron infusion. But they don't order it until you check in. So me sitting there, I would have been sitting there for 30 minutes, after I got my blood drawn, because they don't, the lab doesn't make it until they say this person is in. Then they start mixing the chemicals together. And the way that the woman explained it to me in 2015 is iron infusion is chemo without the chemicals. That's why I get it at the cancer center, because they, in the lab, the same lab technicians or the same lab doctors that is mixing the chemo also mixes my iron infusion. But they don't mix it until they say, okay, you checked, this person checked in, and then they start mixing it. And then once it's mixed, then they send it, up, because they got a little elevator, which I think is so cool, because they put the medicine in the little Gary, what's that called? Little waiter, dumb waiter. They put it but it's not a dumb waiter. It's an electronic thing, but it's like a dumb waiter. So when they mix it, they put it in the dumb waiter little thing, and then they push the button, and then it goes up to the cancer part, the thingy, and then that's when they get it out there, and then they call the person back. If it's a chair open, then they bring the person back to, get their medicine. But it's made when the person is checked in. It's not pre-made. So it's not just sitting there in case the person don't show up. I just think that's really cool. But, so yeah, I'm supposed to have surgery on June the 9th. That's the earliest that they can get me in to get a port, because I only literally have one arm. And so it's good news for me, even though it's a surgery, because now when I go in to get blood, I will have a port so that they can give blood, take blood, and I will also, that same port, I would have it to get my iron infusions. And just in case anybody is confused, like, okay, why are you getting surgery, to get a port for iron infusions? Well, I have a blood disorder, born with it. It's not AIDS, and it's not HIV. It's nothing like that. Like, nobody can catch my blood disorder unless they physically is born from my body. And even then, that's not 100% chance that they can get it. But the only person that can get my blood disorder is my direct birth child. So I don't have like a disease, that somebody can catch. Anyhow, so I knew that I had it since birth. So I've been having it since 1983. So it's not like, oh, you just discovered. No, I knew I had it. I knew I had it my whole life. I just did not have to start getting iron infusions for it until 2015. And so that's why I'm getting a port. It's not that I'm never gonna use it again, because as soon as my iron goes down enough, I'm going to have to get another infusion. So it's like, this is like a long-term thing. It's not, and then I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I can start getting like IV, like saline, they might not cover it now. The healthcare is changing. But like when I'm dehydrated and stuff, like it used to be that if my doctor thinks that I need saline, then I can call and get like that delivered to my house, and then just hook it up, if I need extra fluids, like at home. And so that is my update, and I'm excited because that was like two big things that I needed approved, and it hasn't happened. Like Friday is supposed to be the full body scan, and I got a call to see if they moved my iron infusion from the 9th to the 12th, because that's what they told me. They're like, you come in on the 11th and you get the surgery, and then you can get the iron infusion as early as the 12th. So I got to see if they will move it to the 12th. Now, I don't know like how their chairs are open, because I know certain days the chairs, like all the chairs that are open, is chemo only. And since mine is not chemo, mine is an iron infusion, the 12th might be a day of the week that don't have like a chair might not be open for an iron infusion. It might be a chemo day, and so I might not get it on the 12th. Because like I said, originally it's supposed to be the 9th, but I need it moved. Like I can probably get, like if they can't move it, then I can get it on the 9th, and then just get the next one like the week after, because if I have to do injector for it, it'll be 5 weeks. And so, you know, so it would just be like the very next week. So instead of the 9th, I mean, I can get like one on the 9th, and then the other one, whatever the next, I think that's on a Thursday, she said, if I can't remember. It's either a Tuesday or a Thursday. And after that, then I could just like go, because it'll be the same day of I think it's a Tuesday, yeah. So it'll be like Tuesday 1 week, and then the next Tuesday. So it'll be like 5 Tuesdays in a row. Who is that?
You?
Me. I'm not calling you. Well, how am I calling you?
I don't know.
Are you calling you?
How would I call this phone?
I don't know.
Because if I dial this phone, also this goes voicemail.
No, on Messenger.
I don't know.
I don't know. But that's the update with me. And I had a little fat man sleeping with me last night, and his name is Biscuit. His name is the Biscuit Man. Him is the man. Biscuit. Biscuit. Are you going to help him, Bisc? You going to help him cook bites? Bites? Bisc? I know he's tired of me, but that's my little fat man. I seen you, fat man. But yeah, so that is the update on me.